Alright, wunderbar. Welcome back to practicing artwod roadmap, right? We're practicing portraits on artwod roadmap. Fuck my intro up again, but what else is new? But what is artwod? The best online learning platform to learn how to draw from imagination. How well do they teach you how to draw from imagination? This well. Do they actually teach you this? No. This is an application of their teachings, right? They give you the work, not the shortcut. It's their beautiful slogan, which weeds out all the fucking losers who don't want to put the work in, and weeds in all the losers who do want to put the work in. So the only difference is you're a loser who... Wait, no, the only difference is you want to work? I didn't really think that statement through, did I? But either way, I've been drawing for 3 years and 4 months. This is like in process, right? I have actually a pretty cool idea for this. We're gonna have to see how I can implement scale, right? Who am I? I'm Viggy. I aim to prove that anybody can draw. Look at my channel. If you just click on my channel, almost 400 videos currently cataloged of my 5 days a week drawing practice, right? So come on, get your pen, get your paper, draw along with me, right? Yeah, that's it. Please draw along, draw along. Body doubling, right? That's what they call it or some shit. But either way, what are we doing? We're looking, and I'm in a great mood today. You know why? Because I can be in a great mood, all right? I think it's mainly because, and you can be in a great mood too, but I think it's mainly because I'm drawing first thing in the morning. And by morning, I mean 4 p.m. That's a fucking sleep schedule is fucked, right? Woke up at 2, let's go. But either way, what am I doing? I'm looking at a portrait. I'm putting the portrait in a box. I'm putting a sphere inside that box. I'm putting center lines inside that sphere, inside that box, right? And I'm calculating the fucking center line of each plane while I'm visualizing this. I'm trying to hold 3 layers of perspective while also calculating the center line, right? This is what I'm trying to hold in my mind, right? You see how fucked that is? That's like 11 different things that are pushing the fuck out of my working memory. So this is extremely difficult. What I'm literally in the process of building over the next, because it's already been what, like 60 hours since I've been attempting this. I predict at least another 150 to 200 hours of effort before it becomes second nature. But what I'm trying to build is essentially an internal model, right? An internal 3D model, an internal 3D, what's another way to say this? I'm literally trying to build, yeah, like a consistent internal 3D model, right? A simulation. Yeah, there you go. I'm trying to build a simulation, right? That is constantly calculating in my mind, on the page, a combination, like however I can visualize, right? It's extremely fucking difficult. And I'm trying to explain and talk while I'm doing it, because drawing is thinking. Let's not forget, right? Drawing is thinking, you know? If you believed otherwise, I'm now essentially, hopefully, proving consistently over the next 500 hours and 10 years, right? So like 3,000 hours, that drawing is thinking, right? And the motor skill, even though my lines are horrendous, is secondary to the thinking, right? So again, what am I doing? I'm already thinking right now. I'm trying to visualize this box, the sphere inside the box, and the center line inside the sphere inside the box. Very difficult. How I'm approaching it now is I'm trying to get that sphere perfectly, because it's just a perfect circle, right? But I'm trying to get the consistent proportion and size of that sphere before and then trying to wrap the box around it, right? Trying to wrap the box around it. And this is very difficult, because while I'm explaining this, I'm trying to already get these 2 layers, not even the 3rd layer, not even the calculations, but get these 2 layers of perspective to be aligned, right? While also being accurate to the reference. Let's not forget that. It has to be accurate to the reference, right? So, and again, the second I start placing that line down, now I have to think about line quality as well, right? That's another skill. It's like I have to think about line quality, and I have to keep that sphere in mind. I want to be very clear. Like I have to keep that perfect circle in mind, you know? And it's extremely difficult. It's genuinely extremely difficult, right? And that's why it's worth doing, because I guarantee nobody else is doing this, you know? And you might be wondering, why are you taxing your mind to this degree, right? Why are you trying to do so much? You know, why are you trying to push your mind to this extent? A, because I fucking love it. B, because discomfort is the only way we grow. And C, because, and like this is what I'm doing here, right? Like this is 2 different systems that are being worked. Most artists do the first system, like they build their first system, which is the spatial reasoning, and then the second system over time, which is the forms on top of it. I am min-maxing, and I'm proving that anybody can do this as well, right? Which is, we can think about the spatial reasoning and think about the forms on top. It's just extremely difficult. And I literally do mean just, right? Yeah, like air quotes, just extremely difficult. But the fact of the matter is, if I can do it, and I'm a nobody, you can do it. And you most likely have much more quote unquote talent or natural aptitude or affinity or whatever, like a baseline fucking 10% boost, right? In your ability to do so. And again, while I'm talking, I'm getting distracted. But that's the skill. The skill is to maintain my level of coherence and articulation, and essentially having one line of thought explaining what I'm doing, and then the other line of thought be spatially reasoning, right? That is extremely difficult. That is extremely difficult, right? And again, like I want to make this box slightly larger proportionally, right? To ensure that it's similar to this and this. Like I'll also have a specific size for the box I want to have as well, right? But this is good. Like I feel as if I'm slowly, and again, like I'm just about seeing the sphere, right? Because I've been really focusing on trying to have the box wrap around the sphere properly, and now I have to start calculating the center lines, which is dictated by the ellipse on this plane, and I'm also calculating the center lines for each plane. Like I'm constantly trying to see the center line. So again, like let's go through all the things I'm trying to think about. I'm trying to think about the box, the sphere, the center line inside the box and sphere, inside the sphere, right? Vertical and horizontal. That's already like 5 things. On top of that, with each plane, I'm calculating the center line. As you can see the fuckery here, each plane, and on each plane, I'm calculating the ellipse and then projecting the minor axis outward, right? And specifically like the visual part of the sphere that we the ellipse that we see, right? I'm projecting it out into the sphere as well, because that is the contour, that's the curve of the sphere itself, that's the curvature that is being respected as it is a 3D form. And while I'm doing all of that, I'm explaining what I'm doing, which is essentially running 2 parallel lines of thought. One, intensive spatial reasoning that's maxing out my working memory, and the other is explaining the thing that's maxing out my working memory. Very difficult, right? So that's why I encourage you. And the reason I'm explaining all this is not so it's like, look at me, I'm fucking amazing. It's look at how difficult the skill of art is. Look at me breaking down exactly what I'm thinking, because you, not now, but in the future, will likely be curious, how the fuck did he get so good? How the fuck did he get so good, right? Like, how is he just able to draw this shit while talking, while drawing extremely complex forms, right? Whether it's just, whether it's my anatomy, whether it's mechanical things, whether it's like an entire fucking scene, right? How is he doing that? Because I've been training myself for fucking a year now, ever since I started this channel, a bit over a year and 4 months, year and 3 months, some shit like that. But I've been training myself, because these are all trainable skills. That's the main point I keep trying to make, is like, drawing is thinking, everything is a skill, and you're capable of it. It just takes an insane amount of effort, right? Consistent, constant effort. And everything is a skill. Like me drawing this line and zooming in on making sure the line is good while keeping my pen pressure sensitivity good and my line control good, while also doing my best to zoom out and still try to see the perfect sphere, while also trying to see the center line, and always having to constantly keep explaining this to myself, so I'm reaffirming that, hey, I'm trying to see those things, right? All a skill. Everything is a fucking skill issue. Everything, right? Literally everything. And if you disagree, especially in the domain of art, if you disagree, you're just a fucking idiot, right? But if you don't want to be an idiot, just like myself, right? First thing is to change our mindset, or improve our mindset, right? Because I'm making so many mistakes, so many fucking mistakes. Beautiful, absolutely beautiful. Okay, that's not bad. I feel as if I'm getting better with the consistency. Box is a bit smaller, which is what you're gonna do. But I'm also gonna rest my brain, right? And I'm gonna come back and I'm gonna try to reconstruct this again. But I love this. I genuinely love this. Like, yeah, I guess I'm just hyped also because I'm drawing first thing in the morning, the fucking evening almost. But yeah, yeah, the reason I explain all of this is to keep reinforcing to you, the artist who is also struggling, right? That like, hey, I'm on the right path. So I want to encourage you. I want to remind you, if you are struggling mentally, right, to conceptualize what you're trying to do, you have simply not spent. You have not paid down your effort and ignorance tax. Effort in terms of the thousands of hours, let's just say hundreds of hours, because maybe thousands is intimidating, even though it's the reality. But you have not paid down the dozens and hundreds of hours of effort, and you not have paid down the thousands of repetitions of trial and error to figure it out, right? That's what I'm doing right now. This is all me paying down my fucking ignorance and effort tax, right? Like the debt that is the debt, the debt. Jesus Christ, debt. The debt that is being collected, right, is my effort and my attempts. So I'm here to tell you that you're on the right path. And whether this is your path currently or it's fucking 200 videos back, right? Like it doesn't matter, because the effort doesn't change. The amount of effort you put, constant effort, right? The type of effort, it doesn't change. It's just where it's being directed and how your brain consistently consolidates it and gets more efficient as time goes on, right? But either way, let's rest our brains. Alright, wonderful, I'm back. That was quite the rest. I just had my goddamn piano piece that I'm learning playing in my head. Invention number one, if anybody couldn't tell. Fucking who's gonna be able to tell is the real question. Okay, so now that I look at this was a bit too narrow of a sphere, I believe. Should have been slightly wider, I believe, right? I could be wrong. This is the other thing, is like, when you draw from imagination, a lot of it is self-directed, right? Like, I'm trying to see if this is a sphere that's, I think it's just a bit too narrow, right? But either way, I'm still trying to see it. And now we have the beautiful part about calculating. And because I'm constantly thinking about calculating the center lines, I'm getting better. Not good, but better. Right? Better, better, better. See, that's my center. Right? And again, while I draw this line, I have to constantly keep that sphere in mind. Right? Was that a bar? That didn't really rhyme. No, that rhymed. That was a bar. It's like door hinge, orange, porridge, right? It's all the same shit. But again, I'm just trying to, like, because again, my channel will be, at this point, it's like, it's almost just inevitable. My channel is going to be the most cataloged, it's just going to be the most documented repository of human effort in skill acquisition. Like, it is. It's just for a fact, it is. And after it's been quote unquote done, as in it's never done, but after I've created enough of a catalog, right, people will be like, it will be an example to be like, how come nobody did this before? How come literally nobody went out of their way to catalog? Because I'm basically gonna break down the fact that anything is possible in terms of skill acquisition as long as you stick with it and it's just sheer effort and being directionally correct and focusing on your fundamentals. That's what I'm doing, right? This is an art progress channel. Watch me become great, bullshit, whatever. But at the end of the day, I'm proving that anybody can learn anything. As long as they stay consistent, you know, focus on learning the process and like actually like, because why do you think I preach mindset so much, right? It's all about learning to learn. And I'm literally explicitly every single time being like, this is how you enjoy it. This is the mindset you can consistently reinforce. Everything is a skill, including mindset, right? So now that it's like now that it's just inevitable that this channel will be studied as sort of like like this is literally the, this is the largest sample size we have of human effort, right? Then it's also my responsibility to make a lot of dick jokes, to be honest, make lots of dick jokes. Because when they study me, I want people to laugh. I want them to be like, oh, classic, you know, like, look at that, learning can be so fun. Look at them talking about PPs and poo-poos, incredible. That, my friend, now that is a goal I can get behind, right? But either way, like, see, like, even while I'm talking about all this retarded shit, I have to keep the fucking sphere in mind and everything in the center lines and keep calculating. And it really helps to constantly reinforce to myself. Like, it genuinely really helps to keep saying that to myself. Also, this girl's eyebrows are fucked, bro. She's got some asymmetry going on. But no, she doesn't have asymmetry going on. I'm just shit. I keep fucking making this tiny. Right, there you go. That's better. Yeah, but either way. And this is much better than whatever the fuck was going on here. Jesus Christ, they were so far apart, right? But again, like, I'm really trying to think about that sphere in the center lines. And the hardest part is actually thinking about the contour, the curve. This, for some reason, this angle specifically, and again, everything is a skill, right? Everything you struggle with is a skill. So I need to work on the skill from this specific angle and visualizing the ellipse and projecting it outward for this sphere and this center line, right? I need to constantly, and I actually think I got the center line wrong. Yeah, I got it wrong. Look at that, beautiful, I got it wrong. It's actually here. I did the same mistake as last time, right? I believe, yeah, that's where the center line is. Okay, cool. That makes, actually it doesn't really change that much, but like it is important to note. But yeah, like while I'm trying to draw these features, did I put the eyebrows a bit too high up? I might have. I think I did. Yeah, definitely did. But what I'm trying to say is while I'm explaining all of this, I'm also furiously masturbating, to be honest. Like, it's mental masturbation, but it's masturbation nonetheless. Because what have I been talking about? Oh, everybody will know my name. Everybody's gonna know me. Trust me, they'll study this, right? Now, if that isn't a giant pat on the back, the giant being a cock, of course, then I don't know what is. Well, we could try harder. We could always try harder. You can always look better, be thinner. American Psycho. I love that line. He says it with such fucking. It's like almost like it feels like a shit-eating grin, even though he doesn't have one. It feels like he's saying it with a shit-eating grin, and I've used that line on my friends. Because sometimes they're like, yo, why the fuck are you lifting so hard? I'm like, you can always look better, be thinner. And they're like, I don't get it. Because they're like, okay, cool. They just move on in my mind. I'm like, they have no idea. I just made a reference. I think I still made our fucking eyes too far apart. Okay, so I'm clearly need to focus on it. Like again, like because I'm thinking about spatial relations in terms of just the box, the sphere, the center lines, right? Because I'm already thinking so much about that trying to establish spatial relationships on the plane itself with the face is incredibly difficult. Like it genuinely is incredibly difficult. And that's a good thing, because if it wasn't, this girl's fucking asymmetric as shit. I don't know if that's a word, to be honest, asymmetric. But I mean, at the end of the day, it's all a skill issue, right? But I'm visualizing as hard as I could, or hard as I can, right? And I'm really trying to keep everything in mind. This is definitely too narrow of a sphere. I think I've actually, like, I see that now. What needs to be wider is the front plane, I believe. Yeah, I think the front plane needs to be wider, or, hold up. Yeah, the front plane needs to be wider, because if it was slightly wider, then I'd do something like, no, but then that's too wide, isn't it? No, actually, that's pretty good. So the front plane needs to be slightly wider. But because if we think about it, like this ratio is good, this ratio is good, but the only difference between this and this, that one's a bit too wide too. I don't fucking know, bro. I'm gonna figure it out. And that's another thing I want to be very explicit about. Is like, you will figure it out. Okay? Like, I'm gonna say that again. You will figure it out. Okay? It's a time delay. You know, it's the effort you put in feels like it's not enough, because you simply have to wait for time and your consistent efforts to compound, right? I hope I can already prove what I'm saying with the work I've already done on my channel, right? I hope it's already been relatively established that, like, hey, he might be onto fucking something, considering he hasn't given up, he hasn't given up, and he's been getting better and better and better, right? I really am not getting these lips right at all, but it's okay. It's not about the lips, right? Spatial reasoning, just keep fucking coping with that. But that's the point I'm trying to make, is like, it's a time delay, you know? Your efforts don't matter until they do. You don't lose the weight until fucking overnight. You're like, oh, I'm getting more fit. What the fuck's going on, right? Progress is like this, right? Progress is like this. This is actually what's happening. But what it feels like is this, right? For a very long time. How long? Years. Years and years and years and years. You're gonna be like this. And then bam. Right? And my channel, I'm gonna prove that too. Mark my fucking words, alright? Consistency, effort, and time. They're all in your favor. Okay? Like, they're all in your fucking favor. So mark my words, my channel is gonna be the same shit. What? We're a year and a little bit into my channel's like upload schedule, or just its quote unquote, I guess it's life, right? The first 5 years of this channel, nobody will give a shit, right? Because I'm building foundational work. None of this makes sense. People will not understand, right? And I could be wrong. Maybe it's gonna take longer, maybe it's gonna take less, but this is a general timeline. And then afterwards, as I continue to get better and better and better, quote unquote, too good to ignore, right? People be like, what the fuck? This guy's still going, right? Like, and as I continue to get too good to ignore, right? Not that I'm trying to be like, look at me, but the point is, obviously the whole point is like, anybody can draw, right? So it would be nice if people noticed that, hey, anybody can draw, including me. But the point is, there will be a point where all this foundational work I'm doing with not only my art, but the videos itself and putting it out there, is gonna like, boom, it's like, oh, what the fuck? Like, this guy, like, who is this guy? He just came out of nowhere, instant, like, next 5, 10K additional subscribers, right? It's gonna make a difference. But the whole point I'm trying to make is like, that applies to everything in life. Time, effort, and effort, consistency, and then time. These two are already who you are becoming. And you essentially, think about it this way, your internal reality, right, is like, you're a great artist, you know, because you're putting in time and effort and consistency into it. Directionally correct on the right things, because there are right things. It's not just you're putting effort and you're fucking around. No, you're actually focusing on the right things. There are right things to focus on in every single skill, right? And if you don't care about becoming good, let alone great, then yeah, you could, there's like a ratio. You can put effort a certain amount on certain things, and you just have to acknowledge that that ratio is going to be reflective of the output, right? The outcome, like the work that you've done, like what you can achieve and what you are achieving and how fast you improve. But but if we're going to talk about people who are actually trying to become good, right? So there's time, effort, and effort has that big asterisk, directionally correct effort on the right things, right? But effort and consistency, not fucking time, Jesus Christ. Effort and consistency, keep going, keep going, keep going. Time is lagging, right? Like the results, quote unquote, and the output, quote unquote, and like what you expect is the time, right? That's a lagging indicator. It's gonna be like, it's trying to catch up to your internal reality. I'm already a goat. Like in my mind, I'm already a fucking goat, you know? But time hasn't caught up with that reality yet. But when I'm 40, 15 fucking, or 13, 12 years from now, Jesus Christ. But when I'm 40, 45, and I have a repository on my channel of 3,000 plus documented hours of human effort towards acquiring the skill of excellent draftsmanship, then time will catch up and be like, oh shit, we need to fucking look at what this guy is doing. Like he's promoting all these things about mindset, effort, and like how to learn and all that shit. Like there's something to this, right? But with that, again, with that masturbatory session aside, rest your brains. Fucking Jesus. It always ends up being about how I'm awesome, which I am. Let's not forget, right? Hashtag Viggy famming every day. Because that's literally who I am. I can't not do it. Now I want to be very clear about another thing. I know when I go on these little tangents or I'm talking and I'm not drawing, someone, also that ear is like way too small, but someone might be like, and it's possible, I mean, I would feel that way as well. It's like, what, he's not drawing, right? Like, he's just wasting time. But I'll have you know that every single fucking time, even when I'm going on these tangents, no matter where I'm looking, like if I'm looking at this or if I'm looking at that, I'm constantly constructing the sphere in the center lines again. Constantly constructing it. And like the fucking side plane center lines and the ellipses, I'm constantly trying to construct in my mind. Bless me. Bless me twice. But, so I want to make it very clear, like, just because I'm talking, even when I'm not drawing, I'm always, to the best of my ability, always trying to think. But now we have a beautiful opportunity to form wrap, right? This is the even more difficult part, right? So again, I have to use that as a reference, but main thing is get that sphere down first. And more than anything, it's the central. I mean, it's everything. Let's be honest. It's fucking everything. It's not just one thing or another. It's everything. It's the sphere. It's the box. It's the center lines. Okay? It's the ellipses in each plane. It's the center lines in each plane. It's the proportion. It's holding it, right? It's not losing it. And when I do lose it, it's about reconstructing it. So it's everything. It's why it's taxing the fuck out of my working memory. But I might be a bit silent. Maybe I'll be a bit silent, but I need to intensively focus my mind on the construction, like genuinely intensively focus my mind, because it's time to really practice seeing, right? And getting this directionally correct, right? And I am trying really hard. Of course, like you will not understand this, because to you it just looks like I'm just like, okay, he's kind of ghosting. What is he really seeing? That's why I keep explaining what I'm seeing, so you can constantly be aware that, oh shit, like I can't fucking have you peer into my mind. Unless you feel the level of discomfort I feel every time I practice, you won't really understand, of course. But I hope me constantly explaining it puts it into perspective, because I don't want any fucking bullshit in the future. There will be. People will be people, right? And yeah, I can't expect everyone to just know the entire context of my art journey. But that's why I say it every video, right? Because anybody who's here and they're new, like they will get the context no matter what video they're on. It's like, oh, this guy's constantly fucking struggling. Yes, I'm struggling so hard right now. And 10 years from now, I will have even more struggles. Maybe it won't be like, it definitely won't be this, but it'll be even more advanced versions of like projecting the form. Right, and then lighting will be involved, and values will be involved, and composition will be involved, and texture will be involved, and line economy will be involved, right? It's fucking million things that I have no skill in, right? But I will be attempting to be skilled in, right? And that's the beauty of it. That is the never-ending journey for excellence, right? And that's the beauty, is the fact that I will die, and I'll still have a million things I won't have learned, right? That's okay. That's completely fine. You make your peace with it, you live, and then you try to do as well, as much as you can, as well as you can, You know, I'm not here to try to learn everything. I'm here to try to learn everything that I can as well as I can, right? I would rather, again, spend months on spatial reasoning and set myself up for the next 5-10 years than spend 3 weeks on spatial reasoning, right? And then have to revisit this later down the line, which is a very common complaint that beginners experience. But anyways, like while I'm talking, I'm really trying to think. I need to move this over here, actually. Let's move this box over here. In my mind, like slowly shift it over, right? So what's the main bottleneck for me? The main bottleneck is understanding the corner of my sphere. See, I moved it back again, so it's very difficult. The main bottleneck is understanding the corner of my sphere and just the general sphere outline in general, right? In general, very, very good commentary, Viggy. It's always so hard not to say my actual name, though anybody who's on the Discord knows my actual name. Oh yeah, I have a Discord, link in description. I don't know, I stopped shilling it because I was like, I don't really care, and I keep forgetting, to be honest. Like, I obviously, it would be really nice to have a little community of sorts. Oof, this is grinding. See, I keep shifting it. I keep shifting. Again, it's not just about seeing the thing. It's about being able to hold the thing and construct it. But if I'm struggling, I need to take a step back. Okay, try reconstructing it again, right? And this is extremely fucking difficult. I want to be very clear. Like, I'm literally trying to hold 3 layers of perspective, and each perspective has its own calculations occurring within it, right? I'm literally taxing the fuck out of my working memory to draw something mediocre. I'm gonna be very clear. I'm taxing the fuck out of my working memory to draw something mediocre, right? And that's a good thing. And I'm also doing very difficult things right now. See, so I think I made the sphere a bit too small, but doing very difficult things right now in the sense that, like, I've made things more difficult in the sense that I am now starting the contours at unconventional places. Like, for example, you'll see here the sphere was much more consistent. Why? Because I'm still like doing it where it's like, oh, it's all part of the same thing, right? Like, I'm doing larger contours, which allows me to have more confidence in the contour that's actually happening on the sphere itself. Like, same with this, right? But you'll notice the second I started doing smaller contours, right, the consistency of the sphere starts losing itself, you know, and that's the main thing, is like constantly try to keep that in mind, right? I hope that explains it. It's like when I'm being unorthodox or I'm challenging the placement of the spheres itself is where I'm losing the consistency of the contour, and that's when things struggle. And that's a good thing. That's a good thing, right? I want to be very clear. These are all good things, right? And again, like, I completely lost the box, so I have to take a step back, try to reconstruct it, right? But incredibly difficult. And I love that it's incredibly difficult, because if it wasn't, it wouldn't be worth doing, right? If it's not hard, I was gonna make a stupid joke, but I stumbled, I fumbled, I stuttered. I was gonna say, if it's not hard, try Viagra, but Viggy fucks up his jokes. Hashtag Viggy famming not happening, right? Okay, so I think I have an idea now. Let's see. Okay, you know what? First, we'll start off with this. And again, I lost the perspective again, so I have to look at this a little bit. Okay, now let's take it back. But it's amazing. Every fucking time I lose it, I have to take a step back and be like, no. Come on. Let's try again. And it's also about, like, again, anytime I draw these tiny details, I really lose the perspective. Like, I really lose the perspective. Be very clear. Like, I fucking lose it so much. But again, that's the beauty of trying, right? Okay, because while I'm drawing this, I have to think about the perspective, so I have to take a step back again and be like, okay, so that's my box. Okay, so it's like this. So I had the right idea, but again, anytime I come back to these small details, boom, instantly gone, like literally instantly gone. And again, constantly trying to see that sphere, that outside sphere. Like, this is why, again, the more complex the forms that I design, the more complex, or the more the form itself loses itself, right? But I have to constantly keep trying to think about, like, no, you're not just drawing shapes, you're drawing shapes on a very complicated, three-layered perspective visualization, right? Like, 3-layered perspective visualization, you know? And that is extremely difficult. right? And also try to keep, like, I have to keep reminding myself, like, hey, this is a perfect sphere. This is a perfect sphere. Is it a perfect sphere? I don't know. I'm trying my fucking best, but the more complex the forms that I draw, the more difficult it is to keep everything in mind. But I'm telling you, I'm really trying. I'm really fucking trying. Let's see. Maybe we can... There you go. Do something like that. Right? Little partial ellipse. My lines went to shit there. Because I'm also having to keep my lines in mind. But again, like, I'm losing it, right? So I have to take a step back and be like, no. Visualize, reconstruct everything. Reconstruct everything and see it all. And what do I actually see? Barely anything. Because my working memory, again, my working memory is at an extreme capacity. I do believe, like, honestly, the main reason why I think people are going to study, like, this channel as well, like, fucking decades from now, is because I'm doing my best to articulate it as well. Like, that's another thing, right? Like, I'm not just saying shit, I'm actually very well aware on how to learn. And what's occurring in my brain as I'm learning, right? I think that's more than anything why this will be such a helpful channel for people, is the fact that I'm not just saying shit and being vague. I'm giving you extremely directional, like extremely accurate directional statements as to what is occurring while I'm practicing, because I'm extremely aware of what is occurring while I'm practicing, right? Like, I'm not saying shit and I'm not guessing. I am constantly trying to understand how I'm learning, you know? So yeah, you're all welcome, you pieces of shit. Fucking ungrateful, right? Well, ungrateful now, and then in the future, you'll be fucking licking the ground I walk on, right? I want it to be licks, specifically. No sniffing, no snorting, okay? I want tongue. I want a lot of tongue. But anyways, I lost the perspective again, because my funny joke distracted me, but anyways, right? So again, this center line, am I calculating it? Who fucking knows? I'm gonna try. I'm gonna try really, really, really hard, right? And let's see. Honestly, this shit might be at ateliers at one point. Somebody in a class might be like, okay, today we're gonna see how Viggy learned how to do this at like part 348. And then it's gonna start with, all right, dick suckers. And they're gonna be like, okay, we're gonna mute him. And now you just watch us process, right? We're gonna subtitles it so you don't have to hear me talk. That'll be great too. Hello, atelier from the future. How are you? Thank you. Right? Oh no, you shouldn't have, really. You really shouldn't have. Oh, Leviosa. But anyways, I'm losing the perspective. I'm constantly trying to calculate the grid lines, right? Okay, I'm really struggling right now. I'm visualizing so fucking hard. I'm telling you right now, I'm visualizing so hard. But and again, this perspective actually might be a bit off. Yeah, that perspective, this one right here, yeah, this diagonal, that's definitely very off. But okay, so I'm trying to calculate like how the sphere fits inside, because we definitely got a sphere going here. Bars, it's bars, don't forget bars, right? But we definitely got a sphere going, but we need to ensure that let's see, maybe I can, yeah, we'll just have to try to see that center line in this, and I hope you can see how much I'm struggling. Like, I do hope that you can at least hear that I'm struggling a lot. And again, while I draw this line, completely lost the perspective, so I have to take a step back again, right? Constantly keep taking a step back and be like, lots of fuck ups occurring, right? And that's good. If I wasn't fucking up, I'm not learning. It's just not happening. There's no learning without fuck ups, right? And I have to, again, like, I'm trying to make the forms more complex as well, right? Like, this might not look like much, but I'm genuinely, okay, see, I need to rest my brain, because, like, I'm really struggling here. So I need to construct this fuckery again, right? But let me rest my brain. Sometimes I see it. Like, yesterday, I saw it for 2 seconds, I saw a flicker. But a year from now, I'll probably see it more consistently for 6 seconds, and then I'll be able to reconstruct it very fast, and that's the goal, right? So let me rest my brain. I encourage you to do so as well. By the way, what is it? 34 minutes for this garbage. Never forget, right? Quote unquote garbage, in the sense that visually nothing has happened. Mentally, everything is happening, and that's why I keep reinforcing, drawing is thinking, drawing is thinking, drawing is thinking. Like, you all need to really understand that, okay? The more time you take, the better you're gonna be, as long as you're constantly trying to reinforce the visualization and the perspective that you're trying to build. Because visualization is not an easy skill. Spatial reasoning is one of the hardest fucking things for humanity to visualize, right? So it's in a tier of its own, and I'm trying to break the boundaries. I'm trying to do something that people just don't do, which is to create, again, a 3D simulation of 3 layers, minimum right now, 3 layers, just now, not even in the future, right, of perspective, you know, and calculate it all, right, consistently, and have just like a fucking mesh in my mind that I can just transpose onto the page, right? It's gonna take a fuck ton of time. Lots of effort. Anyways, let's rest our brains. But it's possible is what I want to say. And I'm gonna prove it too. Anyways, let me keep pointing my finger at the page. Anyways, let's rest our brains. All right, wunderbar. But let's see what else I can do in terms of complicated ass design for no reason, right? So main thing is I need to keep seeing a sphere. I've already established that my sphere is kind of tiny. This is actually even smaller than this, which is kind of what it is, right? So I've established that my sphere is small, right? It's like this. Is that a sphere? No, I think I made that way too... The bottom we're going to see less of. We're going to see more of the top because, of course, this is a drastic angle. And I need to keep reinforcing that. While I'm doing that, I need to see that mesh. Okay. And that's where I've gotten the center line. Center line's not looking too bad. I do have the angle a bit off here, to be honest. Right, but that's just par for the course. Okay, so what we can do here is we can establish the perspective again. And while I'm doing this, it's extremely difficult. I want to be very clear because I'm literally trying to hold it all in my mind. I'm trying to hold the box, the sphere, and the center lines, as well as the calculations that are constantly occurring. And I'm trying to hold that while now trying to attach something, right? And that takes a lot of effort. And of course, a lot of trial and error. Right, now let's see again, like I have to, this edge, so that's actually coming down like right around there. See, and I have to really focus on my lines as well. Again, like this is coming out, and perhaps there's some foreshortening occurring, right? But who knows, like what I'm drawing right here could very well be absolutely mediocre, right? But I'm trying really hard to see the perspective, like keep, because again, I'm drawing outside of the perspective box that I've established, but I have to still keep what the fuck? I have to keep that consistent sphere visualized in the box in the sphere, right? I have to constantly keep that visualized, right? And that's why it's also very difficult, right? Because every time I draw anything, like any line I'm making, I have to cross-reference with my box, the center lines in the box, the ellipses in the box, the center lines in the sphere itself, right? Again, fucking multiple layers and multiple calculations occurring at all times. Multiple, right? At any given moment, at least 4 things are constantly being taxed in my working memory, but I'm trying to make it a dozen, right? I'm trying to tax a dozen things in my working memory at the same time, right? Like at the same time, I'm trying to do that. And that is ridiculous, as they say, right? But it's less ridiculous and more so just a fact of the matter that I am trying, you know? And anybody can do this, given enough time and effort. I'll keep saying that. Anybody is capable of this. You dipshit, who's like, me? Yes, you can do it too. Let's see. Try to wrap it around while I hold that perspective, right? I'm probably gonna do something like this as well. You see, like, and another skill I'm gonna keep working on is the ability to change what I'm doing, to change it and to keep everything in mind. Like by change it, I mean like to completely change what I'm focusing on, and yet hold that perspective. If that sounds difficult, fucking it is. To the absolute extreme it is. Right? And that's the beauty of it. Again, never-ending cycle of excellence. I'm telling you right now, everybody's capable of this. Everyone in the fucking world is capable of this. I don't care what you think. All I care is that you believe that you can. He's so deep. Oh, he's so deep. Oh my god. Somebody donate to his fucking Patreon. Give him 500 million. Anyways, slowly but surely, and don't call me Shirley, but slowly, and surely, but don't call me that. Jesus Christ, I'm running this into the ground. But anyways, let's see. How do I want to connect this? Right. I want to be free. Okay, and then we could. Yeah, we could. I'm trying to think about like an angle. Again, like if you're wondering where do you come up with this, I'm literally just telling to myself, what if I did this? What if I did that? What if I did this? And what if I did that? But I lost the perspective because I was fucking around. But either way, again, while I do these lines, I'm really trying to think about keeping the consistency of this sphere intact. And again, it's also like, don't forget, I'm also trying to ideate, right? I'm holding two systems in my mind right now. Design, right? Which is decision-making, ideation, experimentation, different ratios, all that shit. And spatial reasoning, right? Which is like a huge middle finger. It's a huge middle finger, you know, to my brain. But, you know, that's what I want. Like, I fucking live for this shit, right? So anybody is capable of this. Again, I'll keep saying it. Next one, I definitely have to make a larger sphere, right? But yeah, any single one of you are capable of this. You just have to believe that you are, is the main thing, right? Like, you literally have to believe that, hey, he's right. Like, fuck it. This guy's fucking nothing special. Why can't I do it? And that's exactly what I want you to think. Why can't you do it? You know? What is stopping you apart from anxiety, fear, depression, right? Well, what is stopping you? You fucking pussy? But again, I'm really trying to hold this all in my mind. Really trying to keep calculating. And every line I put down has to be, like, I'm forcing myself to cross-reference with not the adjacent lines, but the lines inside my wireframe. Does that make sense? Like, I'm no longer trying to cross-reference it with, let's see. Yeah, I'm no longer trying to cross-reference it with the lines that, you know, because before that's how I used to do it, is like, I would, and even when I was first starting to learn perspective, it was like, okay, cross-reference with the adjacent lines. But then to get better, I started cross-referencing with my internalized perspective grid. And that's exactly what's happening here on a much higher scale. And while I'm talking, I'm fucking dying and struggling to hold it all in mind. And don't forget, I'm also fucking up my lines too. That's very difficult as well. Right, that's very difficult. But yeah, it's like I'm cross-referencing, and that line was horrendous, but I'm cross-referencing with my existing mental schema and not relying on the lines and forms that have already been placed down. Does that make sense? Like, it's all being cross-referenced by the fucking simulation I'm trying to run in my mind, right? That's what I'm trying to focus on. Like, that's what we're cross-referencing. That's what you got to keep focusing on, because that is actually what's in our control, you know? Or at least that's what I'm trying to control. Let's see. So the sphere is looking okay. It's very difficult. Incredibly fucking difficult. I want to be very clear. Like, literally, my brain is short-circuiting doing this right now, you know? And it's like, this, the thing is, like, yes, I may have some ego and be like, I will become like Kim Jong-il, or I'll be in my own version, whatever. The point is, I'm gonna fucking work so goddamn hard, I'm gonna tax my brain so hard that I will attempt to even see an iota of the world that he saw, right? You know, there's this line he says in one of his interviews where he's like, I wish you could see the invisible lines that I could see. Well, I'm gonna make to the best of my ability. And there's already people who can do this, by the way. I'm not special. Like, there's nothing special about this. Dong Ho Kim, Jake Wang Park, Frank Frazetta, the old masters themselves, right? Norman Rockwell, Lion Decker, right? And a bunch of people who just saw this world, right? I'm simply attempting to see it as well, right? Literally nothing special about me. But more than anything, it's like there's like that artist feeling in me, right? Where it's just like, I'll see it for you, brother. I'll see that world for you. Oh. But really, it's just like, yeah, fuck yeah. I'm going to try. I'm going to try so hard to see that world that Kim Jung-gi saw, that all these incredible draftsmen see, right? And I'm just going about it in a way which I feel is appropriate. Is it appropriate? Well, we'll find out in 20 years. But for the time being, I see that was a mistake because I didn't think about the design here, but it's okay. And again, I have to keep reminding myself to cross-reference these lines with the model that I'm creating, because then if I keep cross-referencing it with the model that I've created in my mind, like the simulation, then I'm constantly being reinforced to reconstruct that model as often as possible, right? So that's a good thing as well. But let's see. Again, this is the side. So what I want to do is I want to bring this a bit closer. I want to create a little gap, and then I want to add something here. At that point, it doesn't even make sense to add something here. Let's see. We'll do something like this, actually. Or maybe should I add a cutout? Well, first let's just like make these cutouts, right? And let it, like, again, look at this, like 46 minutes for this, right? I'm trying so fucking hard. I'm really trying so hard to like calculate everything, to constantly see the forms, genuinely to constantly see the forms. But you can see like it's better when it's smaller because it's hard for me to expand out to this degree. But look at the difference between this, right? There's like all this extra space here. Like this is the goal that I want to have, and sometimes I hit it to a degree, and other times I really don't, you know. But it might be time to just finish up this design and then try again, like as a blank slate over here with simpler forms. We'll see. But yeah, art takes time. Art is slow. This is a delayed gratification channel. Get it in your fucking head, right? What else? Okay. I think because I've already established that not much is going to happen on the other side over there, then I'll do the same thing here. And yeah, constantly trying to see it. Yeah, this is a tiny ass sphere, bro. Jesus Christ. There you go. Now that's more correct, because my mind wants to squish the bottom of the sphere quite drastically, but that is not what we're gonna do. Let's see. How do we want this to wrap around? Okay, well, I already fucked up quite drastically, I believe, like when it comes to the length of these two. But, and again, like when I make this line, I need to reinforce the box that I'm seeing, right? So I need to do something like this, and it's wrapping around. And again, that line is way too thick. So we'll have it wrap around like so, and then this will come out here, right? And again, this is like, how is he ideating this? All what ifs, purely what ifs. And this design isn't even that good, and this line is actually off. I'm gonna not go over it though, because that's just asking for trouble. And again, pure what ifs. Pure what ifs. What if I did this? What if I did that? What if I tried this angle? What if I tried that? Blah, blah, blah. And then it starts turning into maybe something. But this design is fucking shit. Look at this. I didn't add any cutouts, nothing. There's no variance here at all, right? Because I was so focused on just trying to maintain the perspective. So it's like very clear on that. You know, I'm because again, designing while thinking about all this shit is extremely difficult. Might as well just close this off because I have no other idea for this. See, I had ideas, but my brain is at its capacity when it comes to thinking about the perspective, right? So this is all it can muster up for now. And again, I'm really trying to reference my internal schema that I have, and that was a fuck up. You see, it's no space there to connect. I'm really trying to have that. And maybe we'll just have this be a little curved, because at least that's some variation. But again, like the model that I built is so difficult to retain. And that's the point, you know? It's the attempt. It's genuinely the attempt. Why don't we? Oh, that was a horrible line. But again, why don't we just create a cutout there? That way, it won't look as mediocre, possibly. Right? And then this is going to, there you go along the side of the box, or of the sphere, like it's connected. But that isn't, so you see, like, it's also fucking wrong. But either way, we're just gonna accept that I made plenty of mistakes and then move on, because that's all I can do. You know, that's all I can do. But yeah, like, what the fuck is this, bro? Like, literally, what is this? But let's see, let's try to finish this sphere off decently at least, right? And really try to hold the model in my mind while I do this. Okay, that's actually, it's mid, but it's not bad. There you go. That's not bad. That's actually, like, I held it pretty decently, and like, at least I'm wrapping around it pretty okay. But there's like so many design flaws, you can call them that, right? So many design flaws. Oh, that was also an incorrect line, but there's a lot of wrapping that could have been better, for sure. For sure. But I'm gonna rest my brain, and then we're gonna try again here, right? It's already been, what, 50 minutes for this and this, by the way. But I'm trying so hard to hold everything in my mind, and like, perspective is okay. Like, I think it is reflective of this, but again, I did something that was very, it's hard to tell because I wrapped it and I didn't give this like a specific direction, right? So this kind of like ended up following the form. But overall, you can tell, I think, that they are roughly in the same perspective. This is actually a bit more turned upwards, perhaps. Yeah, definitely turned more upwards if we compare this. Yeah, look at this. Look at, this is the line that I've created for this front plane, right? And you can see this one's more like this. Yeah, so yeah, it's definitely turned more upwards, but we got the top perspective correct, decently. But I'm gonna rest my brain, and then we're gonna draw one more here, right? And just fucking push the shit out of our ability to see this wireframe, you know? But yeah, I encourage you to rest your brain as well. It's interesting. You really have to hype yourself up before anybody else does, right? And it's not even as if like I like talking about the fact that, or I guess I clearly I do, right? I do like talking about the fact that I see so much potential for what this channel can do for the aspiring artist or just anybody who's trying to understand skill acquisition, right? Because genuinely, and I mean genuinely, like I think I'm onto something. Like, I just think I'm onto something, you know? And yeah, I do get excited because I see that nobody else is doing this, right? I see that there is an opportunity to actually instill the correct mindset when it comes to learning anything. Like, learning anything. Everything I talk about is applicable to everything outside of art, by the way, because I've learned to learn outside of art. You know, like, again, I'm getting a lot better at piano. I'm learning fucking well, I guess technically it is coding, right? It's not programming, but not until I learned JavaScript. But I'm learning HTML and CSS. I'm getting a lot better at it, right? I'm doing like personal projects consistently to improve outside of the curriculum that I'm taking, right? What else? What the fuck else am I getting better at? That's it, I'm a loser. But the point I'm trying to make is anybody can get better at anything. And when I see that I have the opportunity to create a repository of improvement, right? Then it's like, for me, I'm like, okay, then now that means I can, by the way, while I'm talking, I'm already drawing, right? And yeah, this is like the perspective. And this one I'll definitely try to keep to be larger, because again, like, that sphere was good, but still way too fucking small. You know, we want a bigger, much bigger sphere. So yeah, I do get excited. 100% I do get excited. I guess I'm just talking to myself, but I 100% do have this very strong vision, right? I'm so fucking resolute and confident that more than, you know, oh, Viggy Faming, oh, like, everybody part of the community, it's really about prove to the world that everybody's been lying to themselves about the word talent, right? That's a grand vision. It doesn't matter whether it succeeds or not, but I've already internalized that it will succeed. And I just need to perform the actions continuously to make it succeed, right? Okay, I saw that wireframe just for a second. That mesh, oh, I see it just for a second right now. And it was very vague, but this is why it's so difficult to talk while drawing, you know? Like, but it's so worthwhile, because then I'm gonna prove that anybody can talk while drawing. I don't know, maybe I'm going on a bit of a incoherent tangent here, but incoherent tangent here, is that a bar? No, it just kind of sounds like it flows nicely. But yeah, like I genuinely believe I'm onto something to prove that anybody can draw more than anything, but like anybody can learn anything, right? And if you're watching this from the future, or if you're listening to this currently or whatever, right? If I have a community by the time you're watching this, like if there's actually like comments and shit, I'm not asking you to be a keyboard warrior or like sift through the comments in your spare time, because that's a fucking waste of time. But if you do notice any sort of commentary from people outside this channel or even inside the channel that allude to talent, just be like, bro, look at how many hours he's put in. Like, shut the fuck up, right? Like, that's, if there's anything I can ask for the Viggy Fammers to do, right? It's just kill that word, kill the word talent, right? Kill it through sheer effort. And if you are not in the process of putting that sheer effort in yet, kill it through my sheer effort, right? Somebody will say, well, the talent is the fact that he managed to stick with it. No, dumbass, it's all the fucking skill, okay? I spent the first 18 years of my life doing nothing with it. Nothing. I didn't learn anything. I thought everything was a talent. I literally didn't put effort into anything. I literally thought everything was a fucking talent. By the way, while I'm talking, I'm drawing, and it's very difficult. Because I'm actually going on a bit of a topic, a heated topic. A heated topic. Which is not really that heated, but okay, like I really have to focus on this perfect sphere. But yeah, like I didn't do shit, bro. I spent my from 13 to 18 specific, or like 14 to 18 specifically, and way beyond that, right? 13 to fucking 25. All I did was smoke weed, jack off, not study, not trying anything. The only thing I had going for me was that I was super consistent in the gym, and like I got my diet down, because I went from being really skinny to being pretty fucking fit. That's the only thing I had going for me. But apart from that, and that didn't even transfer to anything else. I literally did not have the brains or the wherewithal or the fucking foresight, right, or whatever you want to call it, to be like, because I would read about people being like, oh, well, once they got really fit, they managed to apply to everything else in their life. I'm like, I don't feel that way. I just feel like I'm just good at gymming, right? But like I couldn't even translate the lessons I learned from sticking to a regimented routine and exercise to anything else until I started learning UX design and then art. And art especially was like, oh, it's all about the fucking intentional repetitions. It's literally all about intentional repetitions and constantly making mistakes, right? And again, the reason I'm still not drawing is because I'm really trying to visualize this while talking, which is extremely difficult because my working memory is at its capacity. But we'll do something like this to see, the line kind of went to shit, but I'm just gonna do something like this to reinforce the sphere to myself. And while I draw this, of course, I got to think about what it is that I'm drawing. So I made this sphere a lot bigger than I intended to, but actually no, it's exactly how big I intended to. I just didn't realize that I was doing that. But yeah, let's see. But yeah, I'm telling you, like I had nothing. I was nothing and I still am nothing. The only thing I have understood is that anybody can achieve anything. Like anybody can literally achieve anything. Granted, they put in copious amounts of effort into it. That was a fuck up too. I just had to create a connection. That was a huge fuck up. Like genuinely actually, right? Like I really hope somebody takes something out of this, right? There's a reason I'm so fucking annoyingly passionate about this shit. It's because I literally did not do anything with my life. I didn't even know I could be better. So I'm telling you right now, as someone who's on the path to being better, that you 100% can be better, okay? Like you actually can. That's the beauty of life. Is like, I've realized that, oh, we all can be better, you know? Like we actually can, you know, we actually fucking can. And it's all about mindset and effort. Because that's all that can be controlled, is mindset and effort. You cannot control the outcome. You literally can't. You literally cannot control the outcome. Okay? Therefore, you can only control the effort. And again, like, that's why I'm putting in so much effort right now. Because I don't know what the fuck what I'm drawing is gonna turn into. I literally don't know. It always turns into kind of garbage, but... And I'm losing the perspective so much. So that's why I need to take a step back. Okay, and try reconstructing it again. You see, like, I just gotta keep trying to reconstruct it, keep trying to reconstruct it, right? Keep trying to see all these different fucking angles and everything, right? Just keep trying, because what is the other option, right? It's not failure, by the way. Failure is a good thing. The other option being failure, that's like, fuck yeah, I failed. Right? I learned, and I'm constantly failing. Like, look at that. Oop, that line. Every single line I put down, by the way, is a failure, right? Because I aim for perfection, you know? We strive for perfection, not to be boring, perfect imitations, right? But to be technically adept enough to ignore perfections, is the way I see it. Like, once you can be perfect, then you have the liberty to ignore perfection. You know? Like, that is the way I see it. And I think it makes sense. Maybe it doesn't to you, but I personally do think it has some sense. Right? Let's see. How do I want to connect this? I don't even think I did that right. Oh, well, it actually kind of did end up connecting decently. That's cool. We'll allow it. But every line, like, and again, I keep forgetting. My working memory can't do this, but I keep forgetting to have every line be a reflection of the engine, right? The fucking simulation that I'm trying to run in my mind of hundreds of different perspective analysis and shit, right? But the more I do it, the better I get. The more you do, the better you get. The more you do, the better you get. And I keep saying that because that's the only option I have, is to keep saying that to myself. You know, what is the other option? Oh, the more you do, the worse you get. Oh God, you're so shit. You're never gonna, like, what the fuck is the point of thinking about anything like that? Like, literally, what is the point? If you can give me like an actual tangible point, which isn't just about throwing a pity party for yourself, I will still tell you to go fuck yourself and to focus on the effort, right? So there's no point. There's no point apart from trying. But yeah. Viggy inspires, Viggy is fire, Viggy is in dire need of new subscribers, right? And more than anything, watch time, please and thank you. But, man, I love this. I fucking love drawing. I love this so much, right? The point of the game is to keep playing, right? Let me say that again. The point of the game is to keep playing. As in, we play the infinite game. We do not play a game set by other people's rules. We play the game for our own rules, and our rules are to keep playing, and that's how we win. Okay? So the point of the game is to keep playing. Okay, anyways, with that bullshit aside, let me try to think, because I'm obviously ideating on shapes and shit. I need to take a step back and reconstruct it. Right? We need to reconstruct this as accurately as we can. But let's see if this is my sphere, because again, I need to obviously think about like a proper sphere. That's not the center line. I think I fucked up the center. Well, if I did fuck up the center, I actually have a beautiful opportunity to do something like this, maybe. And to be like, look, it doesn't matter, because I can just change the center, misalign it, and this can just be something that's unorthodox, right? And again, like, I'm really trying to calculate based on the simulation that I'm running in my mind to the best of my ability. I'm really, really trying to do that. But right now, like, it's all design focused, right? So you see how the more complex the design, the harder it is to hold the main thing, which is the sphere, right? Like, the more difficult it is. But that's why I gotta keep fucking reinforcing to myself. Think about the box, think about the sphere inside the box, thinking about the center line inside the sphere inside the box, and also thinking about this plane center line, this plane center line, this plane center line, all three planes that are visible, X, Y, Z, and then all their ellipses, and then they're projecting outward, right? But it's fun. It's like, I'm actually, what the fuck? I'm actually having, I mean, it's not really a shock that I'm having fun, but I am having quite a bit of fun. TBH. And we'll just make this boring as fuck. There you go. We'll just connect it like that. Because I am technically running out of time. Well, let me just do this. Let me do something like this, right? This is my thumbnail. There you go. This is actually, we'll make this my thumbnail, right? And again, this is where I really have to see that sphere, because don't forget, this is all an obstruction on my internal simulation, right? Of my internal spatial reasoning, which is extremely condensed and difficult to do. This is all an obstruction, because I have to hold it no matter what is in the way of that, right? It's all an obstruction. It's all fucking in the way. So I have to constantly keep that in mind while I do it. And this actually was too narrow. This could have been much wider, but that's just life, right? This is why I actually did this over here, because let's see, we can add some asymmetry again, right? This is why I like added this extra thing here, because I calculated and realized that, hey, this is actually not centered. If I just had this, it would not be centered, but now this is centered, right? Like now this is literally centered. So let's just, again, it's really hard because this is all obstructing, so we just have to calculate and be like, what if something like that? Nope, see, that's so beautifully wrong. So beautifully wrong. It should have been more like here, but then again, like it's hard to really understand what it is that I'm doing right now because I can't really think. But how long has it been? See, it's been an hour and 5 minutes, right? An hour and 5 minutes. Constantly trying to see that mesh, constantly trying to see the wireframes, right? And think about it this way. Anybody's capable of doing this. You are. It's just constant effort and time. And time is just a reality of existence, right? And effort is something unique to you that you can always put in. So either way, you're winning, right? Like, either way, you're winning, you know? That's the main thing you gotta take away. It's like, no matter what, I'm actually winning. And again, like while I make these lines, I really have to keep reinforcing that, hey, this is all based on the drawing sphere and everything that I have in my mind, like the fucking, the simulation. And it's extremely difficult because these are tiny details, right? And it's really hard to see that. Like it's actually hard to conceptualize that, obviously, when it's as hard as it is, right? But it has to be conceptualized. It's the only way we're gonna constantly reinforce to ourselves like what we're actually doing is part of that system, right? But I'm gonna actually rest my brain after I do this, of course. Yeah, I'm gonna rest my brain, and then actually no, let me actually. And we'll create a sense of like them getting tinier while keeping the perspective, right? Great way to practice my lines or to reinforce that my lines need a lot of work. But yeah, I'm gonna rest my brain now. Ah, fuck me, now I wanna add this. Fucking Jesus Christ. There you go. Now I'm gonna go, fucking goddamn it, I'm gonna rest my brain. Whew. Oh, that is extremely difficult. Wonderful. Okay. And this is already off center. It's still off center because I fucked up the other side of the sphere. You see what I mean? Right? So, but I can see it. I'm gonna work on it. Continuously try to build it. But anyways, I'm resting my brain right now. Shut the fuck up. All right, cool. And now we resume, right? Now we resume. What we resume is a giant question mark, but we do try, right? And like this in general is already kind of mid. Should I just close the sphere? I guess I should just try to close the sphere while holding everything in my mind. Right, just try to close it. Try to... Oh, see, this curve is going really off. It's supposed to be more like this, right? But it's okay. The mistake has been made, right? There you go. See, and now you're like, wow, look how this is just completely off. Oh, see, oh man, like I have hundreds of hours left of this practice, and don't worry. For those of you who are like, when is he gonna stop this? Well, I'm never gonna stop this, but the portraits will get more complex. Once I'm done with the 50 reps, we're moving on to the Loomis head, and I'll be practicing that. But I'm never stopping this. Like I'm never stopping to visualize this, because this, again, I'm not building. This isn't applicable just to portraits, right? I'm not just building the ability to see 3 layers of perspective just for portrait. I'm building the generalizable ability to have anything to have a box, to have shapes inside that box, and then to calculate consistently the center lines in those shapes while I have the overall box. It just so happens I'm doing the hardest thing first, which is a fucking sphere, because it's a perfect circle, right? And then it has a center line, has everything attached, right? Like, oh yeah, like now that I've drawn it, I could be like, oh yes, now I know where everything is, whoop-de-doo, but it doesn't matter because I didn't see it before, you know, but this is completely off. But it's fun. It's not but, sorry, and it's fun, okay? Again, difficult, and it's fun. This is hard and it's good. Like you don't ever want to say but, because whenever you say like but, like this is so hard, but I'm having fun, what you're basically saying is hard things are not fun. That's what you're reinforcing to yourself, right? So yeah, this was fucking amazing. This was great. That's all I have to say, right? I hope you put a lot of effort in. I hope you really tried. I hope you did your best, right? My ramblings. Oh wait, hold on. Let me. Forgot to add this. My ramblings and bullshit aside. At the end of the day, I 100% believe in you. I think anybody's capable of excellence, right? And mastery, I think, is just a time thing, a time and even more effort thing, right? And you can feel free to disagree. Again, because people will love to be negative, and people... This is all just creating a fucking straw man, because I'm just so in my own head, right? I'm just so insecure, but no, genuinely, I mean, I come up with these scenarios because I like to address any possible rebuttals, right? And then come out on top and be like, fuck you, I'm smart, I'm better, I broke down your argument, you're a dumbass. But I assume, because I'm basing this all off the assumption that this channel is gonna be fucking huge, right? Because I'm doing something nobody's ever done, and this is gonna be a fucking goldmine for skill acquisition, right? And just for artists specifically. I'm gonna assume everything I say is gonna have some dipshit counteracting it. So, when I say things like, anybody can be excellent, and some dipshit will be like, actually, and then I say, oh, well, everybody can be a master too. That's just a time and effort thing. They'll be like, you're just not talented. Any fucking retard that says that, right? Know you. And there you go, bro. What are you gonna do now? I just fucking Uno reverse your stupid argument. Now what are you gonna do? Because that means, wait, what am I saying? That means you can be a master. I guess I'm encouraging you. Yeah, congrats. There is no argument. We're all capable. Even my haters, maybe not now, but in the future, right? Even my haters, you all can become excellent too, right? We're all vibing, man. Positivity, man. School by school, I need the weed, man. Anyways, as always, right? Fuck you for watching. Keep drawing, and please give me money or subs, but more so money. Thank you. Bye.